Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Last Place Pirates. I don't think, Yeti, were you actually ready, or did you know we were going?
I wasn't ready.
Oh, my bad. My bad. Hold on. I think we did it again.
Oh, did you go to the wrong channel?
Oh no! No, we're good. We're here. We're good.
All right.
We're good. Did you guys change the thing? Okay, Yendi did change the thing. No, he didn't. It's July 6th, but it's okay. Today's July 13th, episode 24. Welcome. What?
Yendi's doing that thing where he's acting like he's speaking, but he's not. So he could be like, Yendi, you're muted, but he's not.
How you idiots fell for it.
I didn't fall for it. I just called it out.
Oh.
Anyway. As always, guys, we thank you guys for tuning in for this week's new episode. A little bit of housekeeping. Make sure to check up on our latest YouTube video of me and Alan's. We put out 2 videos for you guys this week. We did Loki episode 5, which was a really good one. If you haven't watched Loki, it is spoilers. Don't watch it don't watch our video unless you've watched the show.
Yes.
And if you haven't watched the show, what are you doing, Yendi? And then also we put up our Black Widow review. Well, it's a review.
Discussion.
Review, talk,
yes. Yeah, whatever.
So be sure to check that one out. Also, if you went and watched Black Widow, let us know what you think in the comments of the movie. And this week is going to be the season finale of Loki. Me and Alan will be doing that video with our special guest Orlan. Will be returning to our show to do the last episode. Should be a long one, and it'll be a fun one. I think that'll come out probably Friday morning ish. Yeah. So be on the lookout for that. So how we always start the show, guys. How you guys? Oh, sorry, I didn't introduce my my 2 co-hosts here, Yendi and Alan. Yendi, how you been? What have you been playing this week?
Good, Chris. Thank you. I've been good. Haven't been doing much. Just getting some Warzone wins. Per usual.
Oh my god, he
just working. Other than that, that's it, man.
Yeah, how you liking the job? Do you mind talking about the job a little bit, or not really?
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming. There's a lot of stuff. Have a lot of upcoming projects that I have to do work on, right? But I'm the only one who can talk about it within the company, so it's really hard to do that, knowing how exciting some of the stuff is. But other than that, just a lot of paperwork, document updating. But yeah,
that's pretty cool though. In the game genre. Alan, what about you, man? What have you been playing? How you been?
I am good. You know me, normally playing some Apex here and there, and then got into some playing the Outer Worlds, which is going to be game 8 of my 15 games I'm trying to beat within the year. So I'm really enjoying it. Like I said last week, I forgot how good that game is and how much better it did Fallout than Fallout. So it's just so vibrant, and I've been enjoying that. And then the next game after that, I'm gonna go into Cyberpunk. So I'm looking forward to that. But yesterday I went to the Tampa Bay Lightning parade and go Bolts, if you guys don't know. And yeah, it was amazing. So I recovered safely and well, and here I am.
Awesome, man.
Go Colts.
Bolts.
Oh my god. I personally have been playing a lot of Warzone also, and then started Mass Effect 2 today. The game looks fantastic still. With the update and everything like that. I can't get over the Illusion Man's office. That is probably my favorite. Like seeing that room. Oh my god, seeing that table, and then the it's a sun behind him, right?
Yeah. Or it even looked great back in
I know. I remember seeing it all the time. I was like, that was the background to my phone for a little bit. This is really dope. I think Yendi's looking it up right now.
No, I was just editing the show notes, the date and episode number.
Anyway, well, before we continue on to the show, we got I'm coming back with the dying question the world needs to know from you guys. All right, when it comes to corn on the cob, okay, do you barrel roll it or do you typewrite it? Yendi, you can go first.
Neither. It's kind of like a modified typewriter, I guess. How the hell do you guys
You
Roll.
barrel roll?
You barrel roll. You hold it.
Yeah, you hold it and then you just
keep you keep going a little
How?
bit.
It's so damn slippery with the butter and shit.
Well, there's these things called these
No, I
little
don't use- I
prong
use my
things.
hands.
I mean, I
Yeah.
use my hands too. I mean, you can still do it, but you could get the little prong things and twirl too. You could do that.
No, I just go.
So you're a
Just like
typewriter.
that.
Yeah.
A what?
You type right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ding, ding.
Yeah.
Ding. All right. What about you, Alan?
It's pretty much the same thing. I mean, it's bigger bites, but it's definitely a typewriter. I
Yeah.
go hung, 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 and then work my way throughout. But I've never actually tried the barrel roll.
I think I swap in
respect the
between.
people.
I think if I'm like really hungry, I'm just going like I'm barrel rolling all the way through. But for the
Well,
most
you see
part, I
the-
think I go across also.
But like Andy said, the butter kind of makes the barrel roll difficult. And I don't have those prong things, so because I'm not really if I do have them, then I'm making a shish kebab and not using them for my corn. So
No, it's like these two little fork things.
I
I was introduced
know.
to it from my friend's house, and I remember thinking like, "What is this?" But
I just hold it like this.
he does
Right?
not.
Eat it vertically.
No, that's
Right?
criminal.
yeah,
That's
if I
what it
ever hang out with
is.
you and we have corn, if I ever see that,
That's
smacking
criminal.
it. Oh man, yeah, I
That's
thought that
like
was
eating a Kit Kat like without breaking off the Kit Kat, just taking a bite out of the Kit
Hey,
Kat.
sometimes I'm not gonna lie.
Like
I'll
an
do that.
animal.
I'll do that.
You do? Oh my god.
Sometimes. If I'm
You
just
should
like,
not do it ever.
if I need to like, if I have to keep it in the wrapper, if my hands are dirty or something like that, I'm like, here you go. Anyway.
You don't use wrappers.
Cringe.
Yeah, on to the show. This week is going to be a little bit. There's not too much news going on. We'll go ahead and get this out of the way so Yendi can get nice and mad. We're going to start with the. It's going to be very quick. So there's been more Switch Pro rumors. All right. So yeah, man. So there's been a lot of people that will not accept that the OLED is their Switch Pro. Because of the patents and stuff like that for a 4K system. And one of these guys, his name was Jeff.
Jeff
My
Grubb.
name is Jeff.
Jeff what?
Grubb.
Yes, Jeff Grubb.
Uh-huh.
Came out and said that whenever he found out about the Switch Pro, he said that it wasn't going to come out until 2022 anyway. So, and that's what the rumors have been saying. Like, hey, the actual Switch Pro won't be announced until hasn't really been announced, and it won't come out until early of 2022. So I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on those rumors. Do you think people are just holding on to a dry dream right now, or do you think do you think that thing is actually gonna happen? Or per se, do you think like after seeing the reaction of the OLED, do you think now they're struggling to make a Switch Pro to kind of counteract that and be like, hey, we had one all along?
I mean, for me,
go ahead.
I don't. If they are coming out with a Switch Pro, and I wouldn't put it past Nintendo to actually do this anyway, but if they are going to come out with it, like I said, for me, then why even bother making this OLED one? Like, especially if you're planning to make it early 2022, because I mean, the OLED one is coming out in October, so like 3 months later, you're just going to drop another console. Like, early would be anywhere from January to March, right? I would assume Q1, so like January to April.
Mhm.
But that's still going to be within what 5 to 6 months the top. And then you're releasing another one. Like, why even bother releasing this one as this kind of event? Like, even if they would have just released this one like on a lower scale and didn't get everyone hyped up for the Pro, and they were just like, hey, we dropped a new one to like phase out our older one, would have been better than faking us out, thinking this is a big time Pro system, and then now in, let's say, March, you drop the Pro, like the actual Pro. Kind of like, for me, it just seems like a manufacturer waste of money, in my opinion. I don't see why you would do that. So it's totally possible, and I wouldn't put it past Nintendo if they did do that. But I really don't understand the marketing side of it, or like financially understand why they would do it.
What about you, Yendi?
Well, first, if you don't follow Jeff Grubb on Twitter, you should, because he's got a lot of really good insider information. He leaks a lot of stuff that so far I've yet to see something he says not come true. So yes, I do believe that there is a Nintendo Switch Pro coming out next year. And I think what's happening is that Nintendo has already marked the current Switch as end of life.
Mhm.
And
They
this
did.
new one coming out in October will be replacing it. Therefore, the new, more powerful one makes sense. And I don't think it'll be Q1. I don't think it'll be that early. That just seems a little weird. I'm thinking fall, winter, maybe alongside
Yeah.
like a Pokemon release.
I don't think they can
But yeah.
wait. I wouldn't wait because we're supposed to get Breath. Wait, no. Breath of the Wild 2 this year or no? Next year? What
I
they
think
say?
it's the end of this year. I don't know.
I think it was
I have to
holiday
look it
this year. I think it was holiday this
But
year.
even so, like even if you do that, like I'm just going based off of them saying early 2022. I agree with Yendi where like next year would make sense because then you can at least give this OLED one like give a chance for people to actually buy it if they want to get it and stuff. But I just don't see like early 2022, like the article says, is kind of like I think that's way too early to drop.
So
another
around the
console.
same time that the original Switch was announced, I think
Yeah.
March.
March.
Mhm.
So Nintendo does whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah,
Obviously,
it's true.
So,
Obviously, yeah.
yeah, I could definitely see it happening.
Yeah.
And we got to figure out what big games are coming out around then because they need. I don't know if they have another like launch strategy for it.
It would be
Otherwise, people are gonna
that open world Pokemon game.
That is. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
And
that'll
maybe
no,
they
that's out
can
in
give
January.
us. Is it January? See,
Yeah,
then
January
the Switch Pro
22nd.
is gonna feel
I'm
so
telling you,
late.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
gonna feel
so-
weird.
They put themselves in a really weird spot, man. Because how are you gonna get those two games, play it on the Switch, and then be like, "Hey, the Switch Pro is out, and then here's all the updated features for it." Like, I feel like,
this made
man, I already
this
played
made
it.
much more sense when we heard those rumors that they were going to announce the Pro before E3
October, yeah.
to go alongside with the new games announced. But I don't. I also did hear that this current release in October was to have something out, and the reason they didn't have it fully upgraded was because of shortages related to chips and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is just like a, one of those middle ground things where they decided to just release it, say F it. So yeah, I do see a Pro next year. I'm willing to bet on it. Just like, I know for sure that Game Pass is not coming to Nintendo Switch, which I can't wait to see you in a dress, sir. I cannot wait. You better. Is it in your closet back there? Because you should have it ready.
I gotta buy one.
Ooh. Yeah.
Okay.
But-
yeah.
Buy
Thank
one.
you. Thank you. Get it ready.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
will.
Yeah. But I like I said, it just seems like a weird timing, and I guess the middle ground thing is it's just still seems such like a bad logic. Hey, we're gonna just give you a new screen, and then by the way, 3 months later we're gonna drop another system that's gonna cost maybe $100 more. Here you go. Like I don't know. Nintendo knows, but hey, it's Nintendo. They know what they're
need
doing.
to really. I don't know what they could put in the new Pro to make it like a big selling point, but they need to
4K,
nail it
man,
because-
4K. I wouldn't say 60 frames. I would not say 60
no
frames.
way.
I mean, like, unless they can get it in the handheld version, that'd be kind of dope.
Unless they're using a new chip with NVIDIA DLSS, and even
That's
then,
gonna
I
be
bet it.
expensive.
I think whatever major upgrades they make will be internally in the dock, and then the Switch itself might have either more RAM or
Maybe higher picture quality. I don't know. I don't even know what they can do.
it'll be the same
Nah.
screen as the one in October, guaranteed.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Same screen with maybe more RAM and then a new chip maybe for
That
better
would make it
graphics.
even worse
Boom.
because now, like you know what I mean? Because now not only are you releasing the new screen, now you just legit just have a like and again, I guess if you say like it's to wipe out the old one, I guess it makes sense. I just don't think you needed to have like this big release, especially around the time like just be honest about it. Be like, "Hey, listen, we're dropping this system so that we can phase out our older ones cuz every Switch from here on out is going to have an OLED screen." Like
Yeah.
then I think people would have accepted it more. But now when you do this whole like run around and not tell us exactly what's going on, now we're like, is it coming out? Maybe it's coming out. We don't know if it's coming out.
Yeah.
And then it seems like a scam because now it's like if I do go get the OLED one and I spend $350 and then 3 to 6 months later you drop the Pro with the same screen but better hardware, I'm going to be like, "Bro, well, like what do I do with this thing?" And you can't go to GameStop with it because they're only going to give you $50. So
And listen, y'all, if you do have a Switch already, don't go buy this one. I know a lot of
Yeah.
content creators out there. If you guys happen to scroll down and click on us, all right, I'm going to tell you right now, don't do it. I know you're gonna buy one because you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, 10 amazing facts about the Switch OLED that you don't know," or this is what it does. You know, the whole time you're filming it, you're like, "Yeah, this is." I'm literally like, you walked up and you're trying to make orange juice, and it's already like you already squeezed it out, and you're just trying to get the last drop. You're just sitting there going like shaking. There's nothing there, man. There's nothing there. This is for the new. Like, if I did not have a Switch currently, right now, if I did not have one, I would get it. I'd be like, hey, I'm gonna buy the new Switch anyway, or I'm gonna buy a Switch anyway. I'll just get the newest one. Sure.
Even then, I would still feel cheated if this system does come out 3 to 6, even a year.
Yeah.
Like if I buy my if I'm a new consumer and I go and buy my system in October, and you literally tell me 6 months from now, hey, here's a new one but better.
That's why they're being shady though. That's why they don't want to tell us anything, because they want people to sell it. They want to be able to sell it and get one so they can go ahead and buy another one. Because I know there's going to be those people like me that like don't want to hold out. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, well, these are all rumors. I don't know if it's true.
Yeah.
And I want to switch now. So like, I'm going to buy one right now. And then the next couple months it's just like, hey, here it is. And I'm like, well, damn it.
So the reason why I don't think there's going to be a new screen is because, well, one, I've learned a lot being in this new job as far as like what stuff and how it happens in the factory. The lead time for components right now in the factory is about 50 weeks. So if they intend to release it early next year, there's no way that Samsung's going to have these new screens ready unless the only way that could happen if it's the same screen
already in progress.
Yeah,
but if it was the same screen and if it did do 4K, they would have to change the battery. They'd have to do a lot. There's a lot going on there. Man.
Well, the 4K,
they're probably still working on that, or just now finalizing that last revision.
They would just have to make a smart. Literally, all they have to do is make a really smart dock.
Well, the 4K would be into the dock.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not going to put that onto the system.
Oh, yeah, because that would be a waste.
The resolution itself you can get. I mean,
unless they can work some magic with NVIDIA. NVIDIA's does some crazy things with DLSS, especially. So, but I don't think so. That's a
tall task. What, like a year almost?
Yeah, that battery would last like 2 hours.
And NVIDIA's finally getting out of that. I mean, I'm seeing that it's getting a lot easier to buy graphics cards again. It's starting to like slowly come in. So we're getting there.
Should we make a prediction on what the Pro is gonna have?
Dude,
I just think it's gonna be. My prediction will be 4K. I don't know what the deal is with people thinking that they're gonna switch. Like people saying like, oh, the controllers are still the same. How are they gonna switch the controllers? They can't. I don't think you can do that. Like there's no way. I don't think the controller will switch at all. Huh?
What do you mean?
The Joy-Cons. People think they like the OLED. Whenever we get a new console or whatever, they thought the Joy-Cons were gonna be different. And they're like, no, they're still the same. And it's like, well, yeah, of course they're still the same. How are you gonna change that?
I mean, yeah.
I kind of want to say it would be really weird, but like if they took the Switch Lite, you know how you don't separate the Joy-Cons, and it's just like the Switch Pro is the Switch Lite, like it's all in one, but it can dock also and go up to the TV. It sounds kind of weird, but
Switch Lite Pro 4K.
I don't see that.
That'd be kind of weird. I don't know. I just think 4K, and I think the dock is gonna have all the beef in it. So that's about it for me. What about you guys?
Yeah, that's probably my prediction. 4K with the dock. I think the screen's gonna be 1080, bigger battery, different chip, more RAM, and
you think we keep storage the same?
Ventilation.
Yes.
Storage will stay the same as the current one coming out in October.
Yeah.
64,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree with all that pretty much. I don't think I think pretty much I mean, I'd be surprised if we got 4K just cuz I feel like that's a tall task just cuz of the dot. But I mean, I don't know cuz again, we don't know what Nintendo's working on cuz they're super secretive about it, but if they did, I would also wonder if they do make a dock that's 4K, like will my old Switch be able to convert that type of thing also, depending on what because if it's not the screen, it's obviously the internal, which would make it, I mean, the dock would be doing most of the work. So I'm wondering if they would have something to allow your older models to do that. So
That'll be a major price increase then if the
Yeah, I
dock
know.
is going to be powerful. It'll
You think we
probably
get-
match up with the Xbox and PlayStation prices.
You think we get more colors too?
Oh yeah, if the dock has more power, yeah.
I think we'll get a
Sure.
black and green for the Game Pass edition. That'd be pretty cool.
What'd you say? Look, I realize that they don't have to go straight to 4K. They can do 1440p. That would still be an upgrade.
Mhm.
That'd be I think possible. At
Most
least on the
gamers
TV.
are playing 1440 anyway. So
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll keep the trend rolling about talking with the gaming industry. So recently, yeah, I don't know if we talked. Did we talk about that last week?
Hats Creed? No.
Okay. Well, you know what? We'll just go ahead and talk about that. Yeah.
Did I do the show last week?
yeah,
You both did.
I don't remember.
I was supposed to host last week, and I showed up late. Yes.
It feels like it was 30 years ago.
Yeah. So Assassin's Creed announced that there's going to be Assassin's Creed Infinity. What's with all this infinity? Same trend.
forever.
Yeah. So it looks like they're taking the route of a what are these things called?
Live service.
Live service games. There you go. So I thought it was a cool idea. I mean, this game will not come out until 2024. God, that's so freaking far, dude. Like, I'm gonna forget about that, and then it's gonna show up and be like, oh yeah, that's the thing. And at that point, they're gonna be selling consoles in a room. Like, you buy a room and they just add it to your house. But what do you guys think about a live game Assassin's Creed? I think it'll be kind of cool to. I mean, if I can create my own faction or base or something like that, and I can go out and do stuff with my friends, that'll be kind of cool. Or if we can take out a target together, I think it'll be really cool. I think it's a big jump for them to be able to. It'll be easy for them, man. It'll be kind of like Destiny, but with Assassin's Creed, since they just pick a different era and time, and find a way to transfer over to it. So the next expansion would be like, oh, you know, now we're here and in this year and stuff like that. It's going to be easier for them to jump around. But yeah, what are your opinions on it, Alan?
It's just, I mean, Ubisoft already told us this was kind of going to start happening. I wouldn't be surprised if this game is also free to play. So, like, just because they said they're going to start going towards those models anyway. So, a live service game now, Assassin's Creed, is kind of what I'm expecting. Because if they plan on making this free to play, and of course, this is a rumor, but I would assume it would be free to play, and then you make it live service, and then you just, you know, do all that stuff, and then they're going to have their microtransactions and get your skins and get your certain weapon colors and all that stuff. But I'm not surprised by this because they kind of told us this was going to happen. And I feel the future of Ubisoft is going to be a bunch of live service games. And it can work. I feel like it has the potential. Anything can work. It's whether Ubisoft actually, you know, does it the right way. It's good that it's coming out 3 years from now because I feel like we're probably going to get another Assassin's Creed in between that. And then I think they can finally like really work on it. But I'm curious to see how much content we're actually going to get when that game originally comes out. Because most live service games, in my opinion, they just don't come out with enough at the beginning. And then people kind of lose interest. And then they're like, all right, I'm done with this game. And it's hard to bring those people back. So I don't know. I think they can do it. I think Assassin's Creed is actually a decent game to do it with because you can add certain new missions, you can add new DLC, you can add like even maybe a PvP and stuff like that. So maybe this would work out. I don't think it's a terrible idea. I'm just interested to see how it's going to work. But usually the first ones of these game types usually don't work, and then they fix it in like 6 months. So
yeah,
we'll see.
They're saying that it could be like Hitman 3. With that title, it says IO Interactive was able to pull all three of its Hitman trilogy games together retrospectively into one package, while consistently adding new assassination contracts to keep players coming back for more. Yeah. Which is true. They went into communities and stuff like that. One of my favorite podcasts that I listen to, MinMax, they gained traction with them, and they had a MinMax assassination list. Like they had challenges, and it was funny challenges that the MinMax community came up with together, and they sent
Mhm.
over. So I could totally see that happening too. You just log in every day and you'll see different contracts. Hopefully they're long lasting. It's not going to get repetitive. They get creative
Yeah.
with it. Yendi, what do you think about it?
I haven't played Assassin's Creed since the third one, right? But in my short time with it, I enjoyed the world. So being able to go into a Assassin's Creed live world where other people are there, and as long as they make it, I mean, I don't know, we don't know what it's gonna be because
Yeah.
according to the article, it won't be a standalone entry like Valhalla, and instead it'll be a future platform that will tie all the strands of the series together across multiple games. So pretty much exactly what you just said, Chris. But I'm all for it. I obviously the free to play makes complete sense. And as we talked about in the past show, yeah, Ubisoft did say they were gonna go towards this, which I think we were kind of lukewarm about. At least I was, because you know how I feel about free to play stuff. But I don't know too much about Assassin's Creed and how the games work and how a live service would affect the games going forth. You know, are there going to be more standalone Assassin's Creeds, or is this going to be like
It sounds
the
like
main thing
this
from now
might
on?
be the thing for a while. And
If
then
it's successful, it will be.
yeah, if it's successful,
That's
it will
the-
be. Do you think we ever get a modern one, like how people always ask for?
What a
I don't
modern
feel. I feel
Assassin's
like
Creed?
a
Modern day.
modern Assassin's Creed doesn't have that same magic,
Yeah.
No, you
right?
okay? And then in
I
my
mean,
next,
what would it be? What
I don't.
modern
Well, I mean,
Assassin's
it
Creed
kind
look like?
of they kind of got rid of the idea, but I remember playing the first three when you were following Desmond, and everybody thought like the games would lead up to you being Desmond in modern day, and you were gonna play as him. But without him now, it's kind of like okay.
I just don't see how that game. I mean, you
Would
could
work.
make it. I mean, you could make any game modern, but it would just. I don't know.
It
I
wouldn't
feel
have
like
that,
the
like,
world. Yeah.
the historic
The
thing
world
feel.
itself and being back then and having it, it just fits with the characteristics of the game. Like it fits with the old combat system. Like when you go modern, you kind of like. But I mean, you can still make those kind of games work because Deus Ex works really well. Like when you go stealthy, also. So I mean, but you got like, and you go straight stealth. So I mean, it could work. I just, then it probably involved guns and stuff. And once you start adding guns to, which I mean, Black Flag did, but it was still very, very limited. But I don't know. I don't know how Assassin's Creed. I
Wait,
mean, I'm interested.
what was the patriotic one?
Black Flag,
No, Black Flag was the
something else.
pirate one.
Unity,
No,
Liberation.
That sounds like it could
I
be.
don't think it would be it. Yeah.
I don't know. Those were like the side ones. I've only played the
No, that was the
the
main
main
game.
one. 'Cause
Anyway, we'll figure it out
no,
later.
it's
Liberation.
Odyssey, and then there's
I think Liberation was a mobile or like a
Yeah.
Game Boy game.
mhm. 'Cause
Side note, for since you started talking about a modern Assassin's Creed, and this has I don't think anything at all to do with Assassin's Creed, but I started thinking, you know what would make a good game? The movie Wanted. You remember that with
Yes.
Angelina Jolie?
It would.
And then apparently there was a game
Yeah,
that
but it
came
was
out.
like those movie games that are terrible.
It got a 62% on Metacritic,
Well-
4.5 out of GameStop. But that's just, I've never even heard. I wonder how many games there are out there that you just never know about. You know, like
Yeah.
yeah. There you go.
Most
Wanted
movie
has-
games used, especially back when those used to come out, have a game to them. Most of those like shooter up movies.
all these reviews are not bad, which makes you kind of want to go try it.
What
'cause I
system is
love-
it for?
Looks like it came out 2009.
Okay.
Mobile, Windows 360, and
Oh.
PS3.
I wonder if it's on. If you can find that.
I don't know. But
On
Oh,
Steam
bro,
or something.
it was Assassin's Creed 3,
Oh, okay.
and it took place in
Wait,
the
3?
the American Revolution. Yes, because they did the thing where it's like Assassin's Creed Revelations, which you were still Ezio and you did all that.
Oh,
Ezio was
I
around for a
could've
while.
sworn there's a standalone American one though.
That's it.
No.
Assassin's Creed 3?
I thought that was in Rome or Italy.
No,
That could have been 2.
Which one was that?
They're
that's
all
two,
blurred
2 and 3, or 2 and like 2, and then it's separate. Anyway,
Oh, okay.
moving on. For some reason, recently we've been getting into. Well, Sony has been doing this new cash grab thing called director's cuts. We recently got one announced for Ghost of Tsushima. There's a director's cut edition coming out, and then recently they announced another one, and it is Death Stranding, where what is it? Who are the people that make that? Kojima, right?
Yeah.
He came out and said, "Don't really expect this is not really a director's cut." So they're gonna call it director's cut, and then he came out and said, "It's not really a director's cut. There was just so much." He said, "This is the stuff." He's like, "This wasn't stuff that was cut out of the game. This was stuff that." He worded it weird. Where it's like, I was like, whenever I read it, I was like, "So a director's cut? What are you talking about?" He's like, "This is stuff that wasn't cut out of the game. This is stuff that we had so much of that we're just gonna add to the game." I was like, "Yeah, so okay."
Sony being Sony, man.
Yeah,
their cash grab. How many director's cut have they announced so far?
Those are the two. I thought I saw God of War.
I swear I saw three or four. Like they are.
Well,
grasping at
you can
straws,
count.
like.
You can count the Final Fantasy one, kind of.
They're gonna have a Horizon director's cut if they don't already. Even though the complete game is already out, they're gonna add something like Bluegrass or something weird shit like that. Director's cut and sell it for $70. I feel like Sony's really having a hard time keeping their sales up because they have nothing new. It's few and far in between. Ratchet and Clank was the last thing, and before that, Returnal. What else though? What's coming out this year? PlayStation 5, nothing. Which is why they're resorting to this director's cut bullshit. I see right through it. I know you guys do too. Maybe a little bit more hesitant to accept it, but this is a total cash grab. Like even Kojima's like, "What the fuck are you doing, Sony? Like, get out of here."
I was down with it whenever they announced Ghost of Tsushima because there was so much to that game. That game is very beautiful. That's on my replay list right now. Actually, after Mass Effect, I'm jumping back into that world. But I felt like with Ghost of Tsushima, there was a lot that was cut out because it felt like there was a lot more that they could add in. There was just so much. So that one I can see being a legit thing. But now that they saw the reaction, now it's becoming an issue.
But Ghost was a PS4 game, right?
It was a PS4 game, okay. And then they were upgrading it to the PS5. It was it came out the end of the PS4 era. Like while because I was playing it, I was like in the beginning of it, and the PS5 came out, and I jumped over, and then I was like, "Oh, great!" So, and I heard this game looks way better on the PS5, so that's why I'm excited to re-download it and try it again. Alan, what do you think of the director's cut?
Well, for Ghost of Tsushima, I don't mind it as much because you're getting essentially another 10 to 15 hours of gameplay, which is a pretty big deal. And then, I mean, when you think about it, if you already have the game, then they're kind of disguising this as a DLC in retrospect, because if you own the game already, then you can pay I think it's like extra $30 to get the director's cut. So like it's not like you have to spend a whole $60 again. You are going to spend $30 to buy it. But if you bought the game when it was on sale, like I remember that Ghost of Tsushima was going for like $30, and then you get this director's cut, then you would have spent $60, and then you would have paid and still have the full game. So, I mean, I get it, because realistically, if you have 10 to 15 hours, you could sell that as a DLC. Maybe not for that price, but I mean, I get what they're doing. I haven't played Death Stranding, so I can't like really speak for that and see how much is in, but it is definitely a cash grab, and I will agree with that. I mean, but it's also choice. Like you don't have to play it. Like sure, you're going to miss out on 10 to 15 hours, but that doesn't mean you're missing out on gameplay that was essential to that story. So for story-like games, I don't really care as much to get a director's cut unless I get it for a good price, or if I don't have the game right now. Like if I didn't own Ghost of Tsushima, or if I didn't own Death Stranding, and they were like, here's a director's cut with extra game, then I understand. But
here's a counter to that, though. Say that the developers intended to have that DLC, that director's cut content, part of the game, and then now Sony's plan for the future is to cut it out.
That's what they did.
Sell it.
Well, that's what
you're paying $70, and then on top of that, you're paying even more because Sony's being greedy.
Well, we went through that era already with games. You know, back in the Yeah, back in the day, GameStop.
EA,
Whenever
EA is good at it.
Well, I mean, that
do
used to
that
be for
shit.
every game. Like, remember, it was just like pre-order today, and then you get this section. Like, where they would literally cut out a piece of the game and say, like, hey, whenever you pre-order the game, you get this part of it, and they would have like a little section of it, and it was already part of the story that they cut out, and I said you need to pre-order it to get this part. So it's just going back into that. They just found a new way to. They just found a different name for it to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And I agree with Yendi. That's going to be so easy for them to be like, hey, purposely leave some stuff out. And
yeah, but
and
what,
we'll
what I'm saying is, like, as long as it's not essential to my story, like,
yeah,
for instance, I don't, if I played Ghost of Tsushima, right, and unless you plan on giving me like a completely different ending, which then I agree with Yendi in that sense where it's like, well, you could start purposely taking stuff out where you have to get it, but then I'm not gonna buy your game until you have a director's cut. Then, like, I feel like you kind of mess up your marketing because, like, if I go, okay, like, I'm gonna buy Ghost of Tsushima, and you give me a half-ass ending, and then now, oh, if you want the real ending, come buy the director's cut. I'm gonna be like, no, because like now it's like you cheated me.
What if
Like,
you're
you
a
know what I
big
mean?
fan though?
Yes, and it will work on some people. I'm just saying the majority, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, and it would work on me for that game. I'm just saying the next game you release, I'm going to be more hesitant, and that's going to mess up your first week sales. And I don't think they want to get into a business where they start messing with those kind of sales, because you kind of, then people are just naturally going to wait, and then once you naturally wait, you end up buying the game on sale anyway, and then you end up getting the game for cheaper, so then you end up paying $60 like, if you want the whole game later on. It just depends on how
That
Sony
creates
wants to make the market, though.
that creates FOMO then, which is obviously good for
Yeah,
Sony too, because then you get pressured to, hey,
but
you don't play this game now, you're gonna
but that
you miss
fear
the
of
boat.
missing out is on you, though. That's like the thing is, I still control if I feel the fear of missing out on. Like,
Mhm.
if I have a backlog of games, which I'm not gonna lie, I used to do that all the time to myself, where I was like, I need to play this on day one, or else everyone's gonna think. But now I have a whole backlog of games, and I'm like, dude, I don't care when people are playing this game. Like, I'll play this game when I get to it.
I still
And
need to
I've
get to
been
that
so
point.
much more comfortable now than I've ever did before, because, like, now instead of spending $60 to $70 on a game, I can wait, what, 4 to 5 months, and then it's $30 or half price. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to pay full price. It's not like you can't experience the game on your own. It's like, I don't need someone else to tell me, oh, this game was great. I'll be like, yeah, I'll get it in 4 months.
Well, it's
But
kind of like when you go watch a movie in theaters and you see it and you're awed, and then if you do the same approach with games, you have nobody to talk to about because everybody's already moved on. Personally, me, I have FOMO, like
mhm.
hardcore. I hate not being able to talk to people about certain games when they release, around the time they release. If
I
I
will say,
wait 6 months to talk about a game, you
mhm.
guys will be talking about like 3 generations past, and I'll be the dumbass still talking about like fucking Animal Crossing New Leaf and shit like that, where you guys
It,
are on like the next Halo
but you see,
16.
for me, I'll be honest, it really just depends on the game also, right? But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like with movies, for me though, the reason why it's different is because it's not as much
Spoilers.
time invested. And yeah, I mean, even spoilers can happen in games, but
Yeah.
the likelihood of someone like spoiling a 10-hour game is so, like, yeah, I mean, like, you're ending up putting so much more time, and the market for it is so much smaller than movies. So, like, casual people are watching movies. There's not like a bunch of casual gamers out there who are playing 10 to 20-hour games. So I guess for me, it's because the crowd is smaller, and I guess because a lot of people that I know is that do play games, and this is just my circle that play, they usually be like, you should just play it, or they're probably like on the same scale as me. Like, as far as, like, Chris has told me I should have gotten Ghost of Tsushima a while ago, and I still haven't gotten it, but like, he hasn't like spoiled it, or like a bunch of people I know who's played it haven't spoiled it. So I guess it's a little different in gaming compared to movies because of the amount of people that are doing it. But I don't know. I just
Well,
guess I
I
turned
think
over that
gamers
leaf.
have more respect for each other because it's an
Yeah.
hour thing. Like, they're like, this guy's gonna put in the time to watch it or play through it. Whereas in movies, it's like, I
There's
mean,
so many
nowadays
other people
they want to
watching
be
it.
the first one to be to say they have the knowledge of what they just saw.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
I guess
just,
this is more towards story-driven games, not so much
yeah.
Yeah.
multiplayer. Like if Battlefield had a story, I mean, I
Oh
don't care
yeah.
about Battlefield campaign, but
Hmm.
like if EA is like, hey, here's Battlefield 2042, with I don't know, all weapons or just a assault class unlocked, and then 3 months later, hey, here's Battlefield 2042 with everything unlocked, I'll be pissed. I'll be pissed off.
But
like,
that's not a multiplayer thing. Like,
right,
that,
exactly. It's more story.
It is
so,
story-driven game. So, like I said, as long as you don't affect my direct story, I'm fine. But besides that, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows what they'll start doing? But Sony, this is not a good look for y'all, though. I will say that.
Man, so these companies, I mean, Microsoft is it's taking it all, and man, another company that's that I've been noticing, right, lately has been doing what they've been hiding underneath the radar and just kind of been doing their thing, right, until recently, EA, right, in the notes I put EA 3 steps forward, 10 steps back. Right, and the reason why I did that is because they're announcing a lot of stuff. We're excited for. I think July 15th is the day that we're finally going to find out if Dead Space remake. Did they say EA Play?
Soon, isn't it?
Yeah,
Nice.
I think that's this weekend, or Thursday, something like that. They did. There is more rumors that it's going to be what?
Next
July
week.
22nd.
Ah, dang. There is more rumors that it is going to be Dead Space related. But recently with the hacking of Apex, and then they came out and said for Titanfall 2 that they're like, hey, we're working on it, and then they said we put 1 or 2 people to work on it. They'll take care of it. That's what they told the community, and I was like, "Yikes!"
I mean, at least they got somebody.
I know, but that was literally them saying,
no one
like,
was on it.
Stop bitching, please. Here you go. They'll try to figure it out. Good luck, or just move on to the next game, please. And then recently they got more backlash with the FIFA 22 announcement.
Oh my god, I will rant about this one. I will rant about this one.
So when Yendi, I'm actually excited for FIFA 2 for the PS5, right? I wanted to get back into FIFA. I told myself whenever the new game comes out, I will play it. But then they came out and said, hey, it's going to be on PC, but you're going to get the PS4 version. And then also, what was the other thing? They had to, you had to pay extra for...
to play with current gen or last gen, you had to... I don't know, something like that.
Well, no. So I mean, from what I read, the thing that got me pissed off was the fact that they were like, the PC players have to play with the old rendition of the game, or like the PS4 rendition of the game, even though that a PC has way higher capabilities than the PS5 or an Series X. And I don't understand how you won't give those people the capabilities to play that version of it, even though the PCs can totally handle those systems, because most people's PCs, most gamer people's PCs are stronger than these current gen consoles anyway. And you can modify your graphics easier. Even if your computer couldn't handle it, you could go to the medium or low settings and still be able to handle a very, even if it's a very heavy game. And I don't understand why EA even thought, oh, well, we've had a whole year. We're still going to give PC, which is pretty much the highest tier of next gen, because it's already like a couple of generations ahead, and then be like, oh no, you guys get the PS4 version. Like, you just destroyed a whole fan base there, because no one's going to buy it for PC, because they're going to be like, well, what's going to end up happening? They're going to be like, 3 months down the road, go, oh, here's the next gen version for PC, and then give us $30 and you can play it. It's like, come on, we just talked about that, and that's not even why would EA even think that was a good idea? If that was the case, just delay it. Be like, you know what, the PC version, to get it back to the track we want to get it to, we're gonna delay it maybe a couple of months. And I think more people would have been more accepting of that than saying, we're going to give you guys the PS4 version and we're kind of forcing you to get a console to play the next gen version of it. And I don't think it's fair. But the good thing is, I do know with PC, a lot of people mod those games, and someone will mod the game into a next gen version, and it'll probably be better, honestly.
Yeah. And another confusing thing for me is don't they design these games on computers anyway? Whenever we go to E3, It's just like it'll tell you like, hey, this was run on the console, or like, hey, this is run on a PC but simulated as the console. Like this is what it should look like on console. So it's just like, what is going on here? And then they introduced the hyper motion, which is their new system. So I'm wondering if like they're trying to figure out what's going on with that. To me, it sounds like something I'm probably gonna go into options and turn off anyway. So,
well, to me, I think the answer is very easy. This was them being lazy because they wanted to get the best return on investment. Mm-hmm. They didn't want their developers to go out and make a PC specific version of the game with higher quality or features or anything like that, because they're gonna make more money just selling the same version to everybody. Because there's just EA. There's a reason that EA was voted the worst company in America multiple times in a row. Like, I don't know if they still are. I'm pretty sure they still are, but not surprising at all from EA, man. Like, in FIFA, I never played it, and I was never into soccer, football, whatever. But the only thing I know about FIFA is that it's always been a cash grab after like a certain. Was it maybe FIFA 11 or something like that? I don't know.
That's when they introduced Ultimate Teams, like the card thing. Yeah.
Ever since then, I've never heard anything good about FIFA. The only good things I hear are from like the very dedicated players who can somehow overlook all the
well,
BS.
It depends on what mode you play, though. That's
ever since they introduced Volta, that's been a bop.
It's also the same thing that's happening with Madden. It's just the same rehash game every year with maybe slightly increased graphics, maybe even a new engine every 20 years. But what needs to happen? Activision needs to buy EA so they can make the most evil company on the planet.
Oh no!
And then Bobby Kotick and Andrew Wilson just become the devil, the Antichrist, and then
holy shit!
The thing is though, with sports games, this tends to happen when they don't have competition, and that's one of the things. It's like because FIFA is so popular, no one plays doesn't play PES. And PES is pretty good, but nobody plays it. And it's the same thing with Madden. Madden doesn't have competition from 2K anymore. So they just go, you know what? We can release this game because we are the only American football game. And then NBA is doing that 2K is actually doing the same thing with their basketball game since no one can compete with them. They're just releasing the same game. They had even their next-gen version, which came out this year, was like a bunch of problems, a bunch of issues. But people are playing it because it's the only basketball game they can play. So I think what needs to happen is a lot of these rights need to be split out again so that these companies have competition and then people are out there buying whatever they feel is the best football game. Because as a person who used to play Madden religiously, I'll tell you my favorite Madden was 05, and that was because ESPN football was 2K 5 was amazing. Also,
was 05 McNabb? Was he on the cover?
05 is the Ray Lewis cover.
Lewis, okay.
Yeah, and then so then 2K had their football game, and it was also really good. So like they had a strong competition, and it just made all their games better. It's the same thing with NBA Live and 2K when they were both battling out. Their games were just better, and I think that's what we need. We need that competition back so that people are just making better sports games. Because now, when you don't have a choice, you just buy one, and a lot of people want their basketball game, so they just feel like they have to buy it.
So ultimately, it's the league's fault. It's the NFL marketing, the NBA marketing, the soccer whatever league.
Well, for sure, because they're the ones selling the rights, and at the end of the day, whoever the high, for the league, they're just like whoever's the highest biller. If we're gonna get $500 million or $400 million, we're gonna take it. And I can't blame the league for that, but it is essentially also their fault because they are just going to selling it to the highest bidder. So
they should at least have quicker expiration dates on their licenses. That way other people can get a chance. But then, people with more money are always
EA is always going to win that because they have so much, and they've been doing it for so long. And Madden's always been like one of the top selling games.
Do you remember that football game that came out on the original Xbox? I think it was NFL Live.
Yeah, that was a good one. Mm-hmm.
That game was good too, right?
We used to have a bunch of them back in the day. We used to have that. We used to have NFL Quarterback Club. That was the 64 one. We used to have NFL Blitzes. We used to have all that stuff.
They had a manager one too. What was the one?
We used to have coach. Yeah, head coach. Like we used to have a bunch of football games, and now it's just like we have Madden, and that's it.
Monopoly.
Even though 2K is coming out with a football game, they won't be able to have the rights to the players' names and stuff like that, but
It'll
they
be the
will
New England
make their own
Patriots.
gameplay. Yeah, they will. They
Oh,
will have their
please,
own gameplay
please get Key
and
and Peele
stuff.
to
So,
make you all the names.
oh
Yes.
no,
Please.
oh no. So we'll
Donkey
I'll
see.
teeth.
pay extra DLC money for that.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Hands down.
So yeah,
Oh man. All right. Moving on. This past weekend, I'm pretty sure was this past weekend was WitcherCon that happened, and I remember I actually got quite a few emails asking me to co-stream it, but I'm not that huge into. I'm not a big Witcher fan, like the series and everything. But they did announce that they announced the second season, which I'm excited for.
I'll be watching that.
Yeah.
For sure.
So they did announce the second season, and
December though.
It's
Yeah.
all right. It's all right. But they also announced that with which I didn't know, but apparently it's been known for a while. The Witcher 3 is gonna have a next gen update. I didn't know that was coming. But what people didn't know and what they announced this past weekend is that it's going to have a DLC inspired by the Netflix TV series. So they're adding that
shit.
onto it. Yeah. So I wanted to get you guys' opinions on that, and if you guys if you played Witcher 3, are you gonna go and are you just gonna go revisit the DLC, or are you just gonna go through it all and experience it all again?
No.
And they're free, man.
No.
I wonder if they're trying to make up for
Yes.
Cyberpunk.
They are.
Yeah? I mean,
absolutely.
I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure all the Witcher DLCs were free.
No. You had to pay for what you call it. You had to pay for them. They weren't all
sure?
free. Like Blood and Wine was like $30,
Okay.
and then Heart
Well,
of the Wild was like $20.
They had some free stuff, right? That was
They
pretty
did.
substantial free stuff.
They did give you a lot of free stuff, but also remember when they dropped the complete edition of that game, they didn't sell it for $60. It was like $30, and you got everything. So that was the advantage on that.
I will tell you right now one thing and say that yes, I will go back to play The Witcher 3, but it won't happen. It won't happen. I want to. I wanted to get lost into that world. I never finished it. I loved it. I never finished it. I think the last thing I did was the Red Baron quest, which was really cool. I found the game personally to be too I don't want to say difficult. It was I had to dedicate a lot of time to it, right? I was stuck in a lot of areas because these monsters were taking me out. But it didn't make me hate the game. I think I had different games to play at the time, and it's just there was so much shit to do in that game. When I opened that map, I got like anxiety because there's so many question marks everywhere, and I lost my train of thought. What was I doing? I want to do the main quest, but it turns out I was doing a very intricate side quest. I'm like, what the fuck? So I got lost, and then I lost interest. And then actually, the actual reason why I stopped playing was because there was a glitch that made my save corrupt. And then I said, you know what? Fuck it. I was stuck in this big town, like I think the biggest town in the game, and I was stuck inside a house. I couldn't get out.
Oh.
So that's why I never finished it. But I might go back, but I'm probably not.
Yeah. That
hurt.
Me,
Black Magic. Hold on, real quick. Black Magic says The Witcher 3 was a beefy game, and C4 said it is overwhelming how big it is. So, pause. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. There is no doubt that I will be going back to The Witcher because it's one of my favorite games. I won't play the whole thing over. I just can't. You can't because, like Yendi said, when you play that game, it's best that you literally just play just that game, and like you don't want to get into any other single players because that's like also one of those games where there's just so much to do that you come back and you're lost when you come back if you haven't played in months. So like for me, I play that game. I played it when it came out. I beat it. I beat the DLCs. I did all that stuff. And now when this one comes out, I will just play the DLC and that's it. Because I ain't trying to get into all that.
I had to keep a notebook when I was playing the game.
It's a lot.
When I came back, I knew what I was supposed to go back to. So
yeah, that game is a lot. So for sure, I mean, I will play it because Witcher 3 like is one of the. It was just a fantastic game. It's literally amazing. There's nothing you can say about that game. It's perfect. So
Black Magic says, I tried to replay it and said, nope, not again, Satan.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I personally will probably go back and try. This was actually I never completed the game, and this Witcher 3 was actually my first PC game after I built my first computer. That was one of the first games I bought because I just heard so much about it, and I remember I only got to the first boss, the Griffith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that flew in, and I remember thinking, I'm like, this is insanity to me, and I went back to Call of Duty.
Safe haven, baby.
Yeah, because I was like, ugh.
There's a lot to take in for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, man. What else do we have here on our list? I guess we'll talk about this. Ghostwire Tokyo delay, which I'm kind of upset about. I don't know if you guys actually have been keeping up with this game.
I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this game was going to be really cool. This is the people that made The Evil Within. They recently announced that the game has been delayed until 2022, early of 2022, to protect their businesses' employees, to make sure that they're safe, because COVID is spiking up again for them, and a lot of them are going home and staying home and working at home. So I was wondering with you guys, like, not specifically about this game, right, but in general, with the pandemic, I feel like we were almost out of it. Almost, I'll say. We were getting to a comfortable spot. With this new surge and everything like that, do you think we're going to get more? How many more game delays do you think we're going to get this year? Do you think we'll go this holiday without more games, or do you think it's going to be saved until next year? Like, what are your thoughts right now?
I think we'll be fine. I think the games that are supposed to come out this year are going to come out this year. The games that people said were supposed to come out and they're not done yet are definitely going to use COVID as a
Crutch.
As a crutch, like we said. We talked about that earlier.
Yep.
And I feel like anytime there's a spike or something like that, it sucks because the game companies can totally just be like, look, COVID, and then they can push it back and then push it back as long as they want to. I mean, they're going to use that for God of War because if you guys remember, Sony said we were supposed to get God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn this year. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you go back and look at those trailers, like, we were supposed to get both of those games this year, and we are not getting God of War because they're going to say COVID. And, and I'm still skeptical if we're even going to get, Horizon this year. Even though we've seen the game footage, we've seen all that stuff, they haven't given me any confidence. It's already July? It's June. You know what I mean? I mean, it's July. So, like, I don't know if they plan on this game coming out in the fall, but we'll see. So, I don't know. I think, like I said, they'll use this as a crutch. Who knows when we're going to get any of these games anymore, to be completely honest.
So
I mean, I feel like
right now, man.
I feel like the ones that have like guaranteed dates, I think we will get those. Like anything that has a date tied to it, we're good. If it doesn't, it's free game at this point. Like, it's free game if whether we get it or not. Like, the Nintendo releases, we're going to get. Like, I feel like all of the ones that they've, like, because they have legit set dates to all of those.
Mm-hmm.
Besides those, if it says 2021, I mean, even Halo, that was like holiday.
They did not give a date.
Exactly.
They did not give a date. And if we don't get Battlefield or Halo this year, the rest of the year, my year is ruined. I don't know what to. I can't keep playing Warzone for another year and a half. Like, so, I can't do it.
Just, I'm preparing myself for that. But like I said, I have a bunch of games on backlog. So, but I don't see what, like, you know what I mean? It's the perfect opportunity for them to use that. And it's, it is what it is. We have no choice but to be like, okay, like, just what it is, what it is.
Well, I know that for sure Battlefield 2042 is not going to be delayed because my uncle works there. And he told me that his brother said that it's not going to be delayed because his sister works on the design, and it's definitely not going to get delayed. So that's confirmation. You can take that, quote me. I don't think any game's going to get delayed. I think all the games we've heard about so far are going to come out when they said. And even Halo has to come out. Microsoft has no Microsoft has no.
Listen. They built a nice cushion. I'll tell you that much. With all
They
these
have no
exclusive stuff, they built a very nice cushion. And if they did come out and say like, "Hey guys, we're gonna have to delay Infinite," what you say? Remember all the exclusives we bought? Look at this. Look at this library.
They haven't released anything good.
You want 99-cent Game Pass? Here you go. Look at this.
Now that could be a thing. Like, hey, here's Halo. You'll get it in 2025, but you get 1 week of Game Pass.
That's too long.
But Halo has to come out. Sorry, I won't take any other answer for it. Battlefield's gonna come out. Horizon.
I think that's doing well. Did you guys watch Sony's State of Play at all?
Which one?
The newest one with Deathloop. No. Okay, that's probably
Deathloop's not even coming out anytime soon, is it?
Yeah, I thought that was September.
That was delayed.
That got delayed. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was September though. They showed more. They showed
September 14th.
Yeah, September 14th. Okay, I just wanted to know if you guys saw anything about it. They announced some weird games, so I'm probably gonna go and watch that right now. So did you guys have anything else? Because we went through all our stories. Like I said, guys, I apologize. It was a light week, very light week. Yanni, you can go ahead and talk about. We'll do. Did we decide on YouTube? We'll do YouTube. All right. So go ahead, Yanni. Go ahead.
So for the people watching, all 5 of you, thank you for watching. First of all, appreciate the support. We're gonna go ahead and do another mouse giveaway on the LPF YouTube channel, and I think we're gonna try to aim for 100 subscribers. Right now we're at 70, I believe. Last time I checked. Mm-hmm. So if you're watching and you're not subscribed, go subscribe. After that, after we reach 100, we're gonna give away this SteelSeries Rival 3 wireless. It's essentially brand new. I bought it, used it for literally 5 minutes, and I hated it. But it's just not the shape for me personally.
I was about to say, way to sell the mouse, man.
Yeah, it's a perfectly good mouse. It's great. It's wireless. But I know what I like in a mouse now, and this is not it shape wise. For somebody who plays claw grip or like a palm, this would be great. But here it is. I will have a graphic posted up on our Twitter. So just go subscribe, tell your friends, give away 100 subs. Car salesman.
You're right.
Yeah. This car sucks, but we're giving it away.
No, it's a good mouse. It's a good mouse. SteelSeries makes good mice. But I think somebody will really love this one. And go show support. Tell your friends. Tell them to go subscribe. Watch our low key stuff that our fine gentlemen here make every week for you guys.
We do.
I'm also trying to get a Shame Yendi shirt made.
Yeah.
I watched the first few minutes of your episodes just to hear you guys say that because I enjoy it.
Yeah. We do. We when we were coming up with that, we were like, you know what? We're just gonna keep this every week, and I'm pretty sure Yendi's gonna come back just to see us give him his 15 seconds of shame.
Oh, but the one day that he actually starts watching the series and he joins us and stuff like that, I'm gonna have party poppers, everything. It's gonna be crazy.
Well, I mean, clearly he said he's gonna do The Witcher, so I think
The Witcher, yes.
In December we could totally do a Witcher stuff thing. I mean, we're planning on doing more of those shows. I just know we're gonna have a break between the Marvel stuff, so August 11th would be the next one after this Loki one, and then we can do the What If stuff, which is gonna be really fun because, I mean, I love the What If comic books, if you guys don't know what those are, but like it's just cool stories out of this world where it's like it doesn't relate to the Marvel universe as far as like progressing the story. It's just cool. It's not canon, but it's just cool stories of if this thing would have happened. Like one of the stories is going to be if Peggy Carter took the soldier serum, super soldier serum instead of Steve. So, and then she becomes like, Captain Carter. There's one where Killmonger actually saves Iron Man, which that one's going to be a lot of fun. But he saves Iron Man. Nice ring to it. Yeah, he saves Iron Man from the bomb, and Iron Man actually never goes into the. Tony never goes into the cave, and he never develops the thing. And Killmonger is like one of Tony's. Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh man,
it's a bunch
so many
of good
possibilities.
Stories. Yeah, so they do a bunch of good stories like that. So August. We'll talk about it when we get closer to that. But
Yeah,
that's
come
all
cry
right.
with us whenever we hear Chadwick Boseman.
No, I
Man.
don't want to talk about
That's
that.
that episode.
But yeah,
be
the
nuts.
Chadwick the T'Challa story is also going to be awesome because it's if T'Challa got taken into space by Yondu instead of Star
What?
Lord. Yeah, so it's going to be T'Challa.
That's
instead.
crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be T'Challa as Star Lord instead of Peter Quill as Star Lord. So,
and
I got the pops for that too. So
they're doing the Loki one too, right?
I think they're doing another Loki one. They might be. I don't know if they're doing the one where he Loki actually gets the becomes.
No, because I thought I saw that in the trailer. I thought it was him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it might be.
So,
but it's 10 episodes, so there's gonna be a lot to cover. So.
Hey, it sounds like we got Yendi roped in.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, yeah, I just gotta find the time to watch. TV
These will probably
nowadays.
be like 30-minute episodes. Man. They're not gonna. Yeah, it's gonna be short.
Pretty sure.
Let's see. Okay.
All
No
right.
promises, but maybe, yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to follow our Twitch page
Socials?
if you haven't followed yet. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube. And we are on all of your audio platforms. Anything you can think of, we are there. Please make sure to follow us on Twitter for any updates. Sometimes we go live randomly and we'll play games on here or just have small discussions. Make sure to tune in next Friday for our season finale of Loki discussion with Orlon. It's going to be a big episode. So, yeah, we hope to see you guys there. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, guys, sorry, Fire Team out.